Hi, I'm Miss Willard, and I'll be your virtual teacher for today. Today we're going to review what we've been learning for the past few weeks, and then I'm going to teach you how we can add endings to words with the magic E. They're called suffixes, and we'll discover a little bit about what happens to the word when we add an ending. I'm excited! Remember that there are some things you can do every day to become a better reader and writer and to get yourself ready for the second grade. You can watch the alphabet chant video to work on your letters and sounds. Read your decodable reader for the week every day. Practice your high-frequency word list. Choose 5 a week or so to focus on until you've learned them all. You can read for 20 minutes and write a reading log entry. And practice your handwriting. You can use letters A to Z, high-frequency words, some of our CVCE words, and short and simple sentences. Let's begin with our daily routines. We're going to review what we've already learned. Let's begin by reviewing our high-frequency words. This is the word kind. Read it with me. Kind. Now read it on your own. Read it to somebody in the room with you or read it back to me. Kind. This word is many. Read it with me. Many. Now read it on your own. Read the word to somebody in the room with you or read it back to me. Many. Do you see the magic E on this high frequency word? This is the word these. Read it with me. These. Now read it on your own. Read the word to somebody in the room with you or read it back to me. These. Good job. This is the word to. There are 3 different ways to spell the word to, and they all mean something a little different. This one with the 2 O's, T-O-O, we use when we want to say also, like I want to go to, or when something is just too big or too much, we would use this to. So take a look at it and read it with me. To. Now read it on your own. Read it to somebody in the room with you. To. Good job. This is the word your, as in your toys belong to you. Read the word your with me. Your. Now read it on your own. Read the word your to somebody in the room with you. Your. Now let's review the sounds that we've been working on for the past couple of weeks. This U has the magic E, so it says U like in huge. What's the sound? U. Does the magic E make its own sound? No, it gives its voice to the U and makes the U say its name. U. This E has a magic E at the end. The magic E gives its voice to the first E and it will say E like Pete. What's the sound? E. Say it with me. E. Does the magic E make its own sound? No, it gives its voice to the first vowel. Say the sound with me. E. Here's another one. We have an I with a magic E at the end. The magic E won't make its own sound. It gives its voice to the first I, and that I says I, like in kite. What's the sound? I. The I says its name. Say it with me. I. What about this one? O. The magic E gives its voice to the letter O, so the O says O. Say the sound with me. O. Say it on your own. Good job. Now let's practice reading some words that have those sounds. Take a look at this one. There's an E, which is a vowel, then a consonant, a V, and then another E. That E is the magic E. It's going to give its voice to the first E. So the first E will say E, and then V. Tap it with me. Eve. Blend it. Eve. This word is Eve. Take a moment to look at this one. Do you see how there's a U and then an S and then an E? That's the magic E. It's going to give its voice to the U. What will the U say? U. It'll say its name. Let's tap it out. Use. Use. The word is use. Read the word with me. Use. What about this one? I see a consonant and a vowel and another consonant, and there's the E. It's a magic E. It's going to give its voice to the O. So the O will say its name. Let's tap it out. N-O-T. The E doesn't make its own sound. Let's do it again. Do it with me. N-O-T. Blend it. Note. What's the word? Note. Read it again. Note. Let's do one more. Take a look at this word. Do you see it? Has a magic E. That E will give its voice to the I, so the I will say I. Tap the word with me. B-I-K. Now blend it. Bike. What's the word? Bike. Read the word with me. Bike. Now read the word to somebody in the room with you. Bike. As we get into the main part of our lesson today, I want to go over our learning targets. The first one is familiar. It says, I can decode a word with a vowel in the middle and a magic E at the end. That's what we've been doing for the past few weeks, and we're going to continue to do it. The next one is something new. It says, I can read words with S, ED, and ING endings. So we're going to take those words with the magic E, and we're going to add to the end of them and continue to read them. Let's get started. Now I'm going to say some words, and I want you to listen to the words and think about how they're the same and how they're different. Listen. Bake, bakes, baking, baked. How are those words the same? Do you hear that they all have bake in them and they all have the A sound? How are they different? The ending changes. If you look, I have the word bake at the top, like I bake a cake or you bake a cake. That's called our base word. That's the main part of the word. When we add a suffix to a word, we're adding an ending. Look at this one. Can you read it? It says bakes. I took the word bake and I added a suffix. I added an S to the end. If I was talking about somebody else, say my grandma, I wouldn't say my grandma bake. I would say my grandma bakes. Look at this one. Now it says baking. What's our suffix? It's ing. When we add ing to the end of the word, it often means that it's happening right now. My grandma is baking a cake right now. So I add the suffix ing to show that it's happening right now. And then the last one, where's the suffix? Do you see it underlined? It's ed. You probably talked about this before at school. When we add an ed to the end of the word, it means it happened in the past. So I might say, yesterday I baked a cake. Even though it sounds a bit like a t, the ed means that it happened in the past, and it can make a few different sounds. Let's read this list of words. Bake, bakes, baking, baked. Read it to me. Good job. Let's do a little bit more work with our base word bake. Do you see the word bake here? And then down below in the boxes, we have bakes, baking, and baked. What base word do you hear in all of those? We hear bake. And what vowel sound do you hear? Bake, bakes, baking, baked. A. We hear A in all of those. Let's take a closer look at the base word and ending. Here I have bake, and then an S is added to make bakes. Wait a minute. When I look here at baking, do you see that? It looks a little bit different. Where did the magic E go? I can hear that a magic E is giving its voice to the letter A, but I don't see it anymore. The same thing here. Look at that. Baked. If I'm talking about something in the past, yesterday I baked, I add an ED, but when I look here, I don't see the magic E on the base word anymore. I wonder why that is. Let's take a closer look at the base word and suffixes to see if we can figure out why the magic E seems to be disappearing. If I look at the word bakes, I see that the suffix is an S. An S is a consonant. Okay. Well, if I look at baking, look at the first letter of the suffix. What type of letter is that? It's a vowel. Look at this one. If I look at the suffix ED, the suffix begins with a vowel as well. When we have a word that has a magic E on it, and the suffix begins with a vowel, the magic E becomes invisible. We can't see it anymore. We're going to do some more work with some words that have a magic E and then a suffix or an ending added. Take a look at the list of words here. You can see the one at the top right here is our base word. Let's read it. I see the E is going to make the I say its name. So we have smile, smile. Now, in the rest of them, we have smiles, smiling, and smiled. Find the suffixes on each of those. Do you see how that one right there has smile plus an S? I can still see the magic E here, right there, because the S is a consonant. Look at the next word, smiling. Do you see the suffix? Ing. The suffix ing begins with a vowel, and if I look at the base word smile, the magic E has become invisible. It still says smiling with that long I in smiling, but we can't see the magic E. Look at the last one. Do you see the suffix? ED. Since it begins with a vowel, we know that the magic E will be becoming invisible in the base word. Now, in this next list over here, it's the same words, but this time the base word is underlined. We have smile, smiles, smiling, and smiled. Even though the magic E becomes invisible when we add a suffix that begins with a vowel, it's still casting its spell and making the long vowel say its name. Now we are going to continue to be sleuths, detectives, and we're going to investigate some words so we can try to read them. This might be a good time, if you'd like to pause the video and get a piece of paper and a pencil to write with. That way you can follow along with me. Okay, hopefully you have your paper now. Write down this word. Pause the video if you need to. One thing that can help us as we try to read words is to find the ending. I see ing, so I'm going to draw a box around ing. Now, if I read the base word, let me underline the base word right now. J-a-k-ing, jocking. That doesn't sound right. Maybe there is an invisible magic E, and if there was, the O would say its name. You would say O. Let's try again. J-o-k-ing, joking. Joking, like I was joking. That makes sense. When you are reading, you can always try to make the sound with an invisible magic E to see if it makes more sense that way. Let's do another one. Okay, I see the word. Write it down if you'd like to, and pause the video if you need to. Now, what I'd like you to do is to draw a box around the ending. Do you see the ending, the suffix? It's an ED, so I'm going to draw a box around the ED. There's my ending. And now the other part of it is the base word. Okay, let's sound it out. Tradded. That doesn't sound right. What if there is an invisible magic E? What would the A say then? It would say A. Let's try it again. Traded, like I traded Pokemon cards with my friend. Let's continue to be sleuths and investigate 2 more words. Here's the first one. Write it down and then draw a box around the ending if you see an ending. I see one. I see an S at the end of this word. When we add the suffix S, that often means more than one. Underline your base word. The base word is the main part of the word. Now look, I see a magic E in this one. I can see it. It's going to give its voice to the letter U. The letter U, when it's long, can say U or oo. And in this word, it will say oo. Let's read it. Rule, with an S though, is rules. I follow the rules. Let's do another one. Do you see an ending in this word? I see the ing ending. I'm going to draw a box around the ing ending. The rest of the word would be the main part, the base word. If I sound that out, div-ing, diving. That doesn't sound quite right. Do you think there's an invisible magic E that can give its voice to the I? Let's try it. Diving, like I'm diving into the swimming pool. That makes sense.
It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work.
It's time to practice what we learn. It's time to go to work.
Now it's time for you to get started with the activity in your packet. For your activity today, you'll need to turn to page 62 in your distance learning packet. You can pause the video if you need a minute to get to that page and get a pencil. You can see that our activity today is called suffix equations, and you can see the directions are at the top of the page. The directions say combine the base word and suffix ending to create a new word. Write the word on the line. Drop the E in the base word if it is crossed out. So you can see right here we have our base word. For this one it's bake. We worked a lot with that word today. Now in the first example you can see in the box we want to add the suffix S. And you can see right here, I'm going to draw a little arrow, the E is not crossed off because S is a consonant, so we don't have to make the magic E become invisible. So we're going to write B-A-K-E for bake, and then add our suffix S right next to it. It's part of the same word. The next part, it wants us to add ED to show that it happened in the past. So I'm going to take the word bake and I'm going to add ED, but you can see right here, the E is crossed off because the suffix ED begins with a vowel already. So I'll write B-A-K, but then I'm going to drop the E. It's going to become invisible, and then I'll add my ending, ED. It says baked. Your job today is to do this with the rest of the words and then read the list of words to somebody in your house. Good luck! As you finish your work in your packet today, I want you to take a minute to think and reflect. What did you do today that is helping you become a more proficient reader?